Chapter 19, Episode 5. Sarah went home straight after basketball practice. She knew dinner was waiting for her. Her father had tracked him down the night before, a priest that had been charged with molesting 63 choir boys. Prescott had decided against representing him. He didn't want that kind of association. The guy was a real madman. Someone else managed to get him off just as Prescott could have. The lawyer made the boys look like little confused shit disturbers playing a bad joke on a religious man of God. Hi, Mum. Hi, Sarah. How was your day? Good. I'm playing as good as I was before the accident. Did you learn anything in school? I think so. Better ask Suzanna. Her mother laughed. Is Suzanna coming for a visit? Sarah sat on the piano bench beside her mother and looked at the sheet music. Then she pushed a white key. She's going to come to the fight tonight. Wants to eat with her family. Then she'll come back with us. Are you coming tonight? Oh, of course I am. Now you go play with the priest and I'll play a little longer here. Sarah kissed her mother's cheek, then ran off to her room to drop her clothes and sweaty basketball clothes in a pile outside her jungle bedroom. Then she went through her parents' bedroom and into the bathroom. She stepped into the shower, put her hand on the wall, and then stepped into the family's private dining room. Mother Mary, what have I done? Where am I? Why are we all naked? You know what you have done. You are here in the family dining room. We don't wear clothes in the family dining room. Is this a mad pagan ritual? It's practical. It is not practical for a priest. I'm a man of cloth. I want to be released from here. You will be released. I'd like to be released now, with my clothes. Sarah looked at him and slowly let the pleasant disposition that had become natural to her since having a really great friend dissipate. Suzanna would get shut out. Everything else would be shut out. The room was Sarah's. There were no influences. She could let her beast play. This isn't right. I shouldn't be here. You can't keep me here. Who are you? The naked woman didn't seem to hear him. He wasn't certain if she was really there. It didn't look like the same girl that had popped in a few minutes earlier. He was trapped in a sterile room with what he could only guess was a demon. He looked around once more for a way out. He looked up at the ceiling and then the place where the naked woman had entered. He ran over to the spot and slapped around on the wall. There was nothing to indicate a door. He hadn't heard steps behind him, so he was shocked when he was bitten on the shoulder. He screamed and turned around to see blood on the face of the woman. You fiend! Monster! Demon! Sarah kicked him not too hard in the testicles, then smacked him on both sides of his head. She waited for him to think about it and kicked him once more in the testicles after he had raised his hands to his face. I demand in the name of God you stop this madness! Sarah punched him in the face. Not hard, but enough to make his lip bleed. Get him to taste blood. Make him find his primal fear and fury. He did. They always did. He tried to claw at her eyes, but she saw his motion coming, grabbed his arm and twisted it quickly the wrong way, snapped his elbow. When he screamed, she kicked him in the stomach and elbowed his face. Sarah especially enjoyed the tenderizing process. She liked to take a long time. Most young anthropophagi took pleasure in the process. There was a method to it. The bleeding was something you did with any animal, and some people like to torture their animal for various reasons. Sarah wanted to get hormones and adrenaline flowing, spice up the meat. It was usual procedure to break both arms. It made the victim mostly helpless so that they couldn't easily scratch. Sometimes it was good to knock out the front teeth to discourage biting. The priest tried to bite Sarah after she broke his other elbow. She slammed his face into the wall, smashing out his front teeth. The priest begged to God for intervention. God seemed to be shut out of the room. He couldn't hear him. He got down on his knees and tried to bring his hands together. Please, God, no. Sarah kicked him in the face hard enough to mash his nose in. It knocked him on his back. She put his arms under his back and sat on his legs and took his penis in her hand. When he tried to sit up, She drove her elbow into his stomach. She went down on him, took his limp penis in her mouth. Each time he protested or fidgeted, she bit down just a little. He learned not to make a sound and not to move, and he had so much pain that his own morphine was giving him as much bliss as it could. He gave in, stopped trying to understand, and allowed that he enjoyed the sensation of his erection in the mouth of a monster. His ejaculation was the most brilliant orgasm he had ever had. He saw stars. He faded a little outside of consciousness. He felt his penis being bitten off, but the shock was hardly registered. He didn't know that his leg was also ripped open with teeth. And when Sarah jumped on his chest to break his sternum so she could rip out his heart, he was mostly dead. Sarah only ate about a third of the heart, left the rest for her parents. She chewed a bit around the neck and back, bit a chunk out of his triceps, then went for a shower. Turns out the old rapist does have a good heart. Her mother smiled at Sarah's little joke and went in to eat. She also cleaned up, and after putting most of the meat aside, threw the rest in the incinerator.